jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
You know, one-on-one, just say to them, ask them, do you buy the pay-per-view, or are you illegally getting it? You know, are you stealing it? Oh man, motherfucker, I steal it. I said, well, there you go. But you
Yeah, once again, you turned into WCS, man. You already know. Wednesday, big shout out to the supporters on deck. Once again, those who rock out with the channel. Hey, man, if you want to hit the like button, do it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's a big salute to those in here that's listening to the content, man, and rock out with the channel. That's all. That's what it's about at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. We got some hot boxing topics, of course. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about Deontay Wilder, Adrian Broner, and Conor Benn. You know what I'm saying? This is the No Fake News channel, goddammit. This is the No Fake News channel. Real talk. So I see people already in the chat. My guy Dion Washington on deck. Big blunts and boxing on deck, man. Y'all be sure to hit the like button on the way in. Salute WCS. Salute to you, bro. Mr. DBMH on deck with it. Salute WCS. Salute to you. The one and only Captain Chaos in the building. I stole it. I streamed it. I made a mistake. So what? You know. So let's get, you know, let's get to the WBC King first. All right. Because as you all already know, man, Deontay Wilder is on his way back. All right. And the reason why that's so important is he's now on a higher level than he was before, man, when he was actually fighting, in my opinion, when it comes to the boxing fans. The reason why I say that is when Deontay Wilder was 42-0, 41 knockouts, it was a lot of criticism still coming his way as if he wasn't the best heavyweight and, you know, his resume sucked and he hasn't did enough in the sport of boxing to prove to the naysayers that he's worthy to be there, right? Some of the best highlight reel knockouts, man. And he's been called several names, you know. One name that stuck out mostly is Mr. Windmill. They used to call him Mr. Windmill, but I'm saying, look, I used to say to him in debates, right? This is when I was heavy on Facebook. I said, I ain't never seen someone survive being hit by a windmill. Usually that's straight decapitation. So when he was being called Mr. Windmill, shit, he was still knocking dudes out, man. And usually when he windmill, it was just him, you know, having a little fun, knowing he was about to, you know, put his opponent to sleep. But over time, man, he has some of the best highlight reel knockouts you can imagine. To have a frame the way he does, and have his metabolism burning the way it is. You know, he's always in shape, lean, and so forth. And, you know, he was basically knocking fighters out as considerable a light heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? He was considered a light, not in the not in the not on the numbers of the scales, but light as in him competing in the heavyweight division and being in the lower twos. You know what I'm saying? Plus, being 6'7", 6'7", 6'8", according to what day it is. He had a frame. They always say he had a frame like a basketball player, but yet his power was undeniable. Undeniable power, man. So finally, when it all started to tighten up and he went back in there to the rematch, he wasn't able to get it done. And plus that rematch kind of changed, the scope of the heavyweight division in this era. It changed it so much because it was so much, speculation here, speculation there, conspiracy theories here. In hindsight, the hypotheticals, what if, this, that, and the other. I mean, it was a lot of relationships severed talking about Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. A lot, y'all. A lot. And, we're not talking about relationships on the YTC because we all know that's step cousin shit. That's fake. You know what I'm saying? But we're talking about real life. On the news that came out from that fight, not so much with Tyson Fury, so to speak, because he's been proven to cheat, but more so, the Mark Breland situation, because a lot of people basically respected Mark Breland. I even had a conversation with his son. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that was real bad. That was real bad. Real talk. That was really, really bad, man. Mr. Gumbo on deck with the super chat once again. Shout out to Mr. Gumbo, shifting gears on the road, changing lanes. You know what it is, man. He said, salute WCS, my brother. Salute to you for the $5 super chat, man. All day, every day, man. Respect to you. Much appreciated, my brother. Be safe out there. You know how it is. I don't know how it is. You know how it is. Be safe out there, man. At WCS, I appreciate the wrench, OG. Hope you feeling and doing well today. Yeah, for sure, man. I still got business to take care on this side, but no problem, man. You continue to put out that fire content, you know what I'm saying, and do what you do. Get straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? No winding, wound about freaking, how they have roundabouts in the street. You go all around and you dip off into the side street. Shit. Big Bunch and Boxing go straight to the destination. But Wilder, man, he was facing a lot of criticism for what he said about the water with Mark Breland and everything. And they say he didn't take the loss like a true sportsman. Now, I did plenty of videos on what I thought about that. I was deeply immersed into that situation and that fight, the rematch of Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury that happened February 22nd. I would have liked to see it in person, but we know what was going on with that. But he didn't get it done, man. That was his first loss. He lost the WBC title. And anyone who go back on my lives leading up to that date, I said that Deontay Wilder would have to be absolutely perfect to go in there and retain his title, because all the powers that was thinking about plotting against him and converging on him on that night to lift that belt, it seems like everything was all wrong. You know what I'm saying? But he lost his title. You know what I'm saying? And it was so much controversy. You want to talk about thumbnails? You couldn't turn on, YouTube. You couldn't click on YouTube without anybody talking about that fight. It was just crazy. And a shout out to Deontay Wilder, regardless, man. You being stopped that fight, you still fought to the 7th round, and you showed you had heart. Man, that was never a question. That was never a freaking question. And the special part about Deontay Wilder, he said, I'm gonna go to court while everybody out here running their mouth. After the fight, everybody was dogging him out. He lost. But after the fight, people wanted to hear from him. People wanted to know what he had going on and, what's going on. It was so nosy, bro. They want they wanted to know what was going on with Deontay Wilder. When he was actively lacing up and competing, it was all criticism. He's this, he's that, and the other, and all this other stuff. I mean, it get downright racist. Real talk. A lot of people didn't like him being vociferous, doing his interviews. They act like he was the only fighter that ever was braggadocious. You know what I'm saying? Very grandiloquent with his words when he really get into the groove. They hate hearing him say that his grandma said he was anointed. You know what I'm saying? He gave you everything you want as far as behind the mic and talking to the fans. So when he lost in February, right? 2020, right before the pandemic, people wanted to know what Deontay Wilder was up to. And then all this shit started to come up again, man. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the most controversial fighters for the wrong reason. Like, he gave you what you wanted. He went in there and fought the best. He gave you what you wanted. And now, I always said that Deontay Wilder won't be appreciated until he's out. When he was out in arbitration in between the rematch and the third fight, there was nothing going on except Eddie Hearns faking the funk like Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua was going to fight in August. Nothing else was going on, people. Besides that, people was missing the bronze bomber, bro. They was missing him. Then all this hoopla, fake ass news Eddie Hearns was putting out there. And all along, Deontay Wilder's in arbitration. It comes out that he's won the arbitration. They pretty much knew that he was in arbitration all along. And then we get the fight that we've been waiting on, and Tyson Fury stops him. But the respect level of a heavyweight being dropped like that, his name being Deontay Wilder, it has to reflect in the same illumination as it did when Lennox Lewis and a lot of other heavyweights was dropped. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was a different amount of belts that was being contended, it's been heavyweights that was dropped because they're in the heaviest division in boxing. They've been heavyweights to go out on their shield. It's been heavyweights to let people know that I'm willing to die in the ring. Deontay Wilder made it perfectly clear in his declaration. I didn't want them to stop the fight. I'm the boss. I said I want to go out on my shield. So in the third fight, a heavier Deontay Wilder, he came out using the jab. He seemed to fatigue as the fight went on, but it still went past the seventh, though. Both fighters was on the canvas, dog. Epic. So if you're gonna salute and cheer on and be, be out here highlighting others that have both touched the canvas, you know what I'm saying, in a trilogy fight, you have to highlight Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, the rematch and the trilogy. So he wasn't able to gain his title back, but yet they still consider him to be in the top 3 heavyweights in the world. Obviously, they have Tyson Fury. He's still undefeated, and he's fought Deontay Wilder. But the wild part about that is, how can a fighter get rewarded? How can you be placed on a magazine? How can you be thrown on a pound for pound list in defeating a fighter for which he never was able to receive the accolades from which Tyson Fury has benefited from? How does that work if the criticism was rapid about Deontay Wilder, who he fought, but then Tyson Fury beats him, and all of a sudden, and there's the co-fighter of the year next to Teofimo Lopez, bro? That's not right. That's unfair. Boxing isn't a fair sport when it comes down to it, especially when it comes to the news editorials and stuff like that. It's all about who is the editors, the writers, what they have going on. A lot of those situations are loose. The small number of people who's making these decisions the way they are, with the pound for pound and who get this award and why did he get that award? You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder wasn't with ESPN. You feel me? He wasn't with ESPN. So it comes down to a point where we seen Tyson Fury rewarded for defeating Deontay Wilder. And Deontay Wilder, in his winning ways with 41 knockouts, he never received that glory. He was never placed in the hierarchy, the idolatry of boxing. You know what I'm saying? He was never placed there when he was winning. But when he lost, Tyson Fury was the one rewarded with everything Deontay Wilder had waited, had earned during his career. When he was winning undefeated, even when he took his first loss and came back for the trilogy. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury benefited from everything Deontay Wilder had worked for. So now, since his loss last October, he's set to return. As WCS told y'all, right? I told you he'd be back. Never once did I waver with fake news that he wouldn't be back. The reason why I said he was going to be back had nothing to do with him going on ayahuasca, none of that shit. The reason why I said he was going to be back, because this is a man who is wearing the crown with pride across the front of it. He has an extreme amount of pride. His pride deals with who he is as a person, as a black man, where he came from. He just feels like he's one of those God gifted human beings in life. So I knew he wasn't going to allow his nemesis Tyson Fury to be the last name on his resume while he ride off into the sunset. You remember when I told you about y'all about pretty much how wealth come into the equation, on how us black people tend to want to talk about money and shit like that, right? And think that's the end all be all. With Deontay Wilder, people were saying how much money he made, how what he has going on. He's doing well for himself. And I said, hey, I understand all of that. You're absolutely right. And one thing I don't really touch with grown ass men who's competing in a sport that I am not is speak on their money. But in this case, I spoke on his money with a different stance. I said, yeah, he made a lot of money. He has a lot of business residual type investments going on in his life, from what I understand. He didn't tell me, from what I understand, right? So when it comes down to him making the decision to leave the sport with a fighter like the name of Tyson Fury being red, having a red light, not just any red light, but the two of the most important matches of his entire career. No one could have convinced me that black man wasn't lacing up again and coming back to the square. Not to face Tyson Fury, but to return back to the sport, because he couldn't allow that to be his conclusion to his Hall of Fame career. He couldn't allow Tyson Fury to write the closing, the benediction. There's no way he could have allowed that shit to happen. I understand, from my opinion, he's not built that way. He wasn't going to allow 2 L's to be on his record for the rest of his life and then come back for an exhibition, 10 years from now. And people are here saying, he's making all this money, he has investments, but the pride of it, what sits in his heart, is the reason why he's coming back to the sport, because he said he still has business to take care of. Of course he does. That business may not be with Tyson Fury, but goddamn it, it's going to be with somebody else. And his name is Robert Helenius. Robert Helenius just happened to be a fighter who, I wouldn't say flying under the radar, but to the hardcore fans, we know him. You know what I'm saying? We know him from him, coming down to the ring. You know what I'm saying? Looking a little wild. Having this gothic style freaking outfit for his ring attire. And going in there and fight another rising, contender Andy Konoski. And he went in there and stopped Andy Konoski. It was just a mismatch, man. Like, it was almost like Joe George, Daniel Dubois, Robert Helenius, Andy Konoski. He couldn't miss. And one thing about Andy Konoski, man, he looks like you look at his face, he looked like a baby, like the Gerber baby in the face. His eyes swell up so quick, man. And Robert Helenius was just touching him up, man. He couldn't miss at all. And he ended up stopping him. It got to the point where people was like cringing a little bit, like, hey, somebody need to do something about this. So when he ended up picking up that win, he had another fight, I believe he had with Charles Martin. He defeated Charles Martin. And I'm not sure who he fought again after that, if he did. But he came back and fought a rematch with Andy Konoski and stopped him again. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention that Robert Helenius was one of the sparring partners for Deontay Wilder on the lead up to his fight, his trilogy with Tyson Fury. Robert Helenius is tall like Deontay Wilder, rangy like Deontay Wilder. He has reach. They match up well when it comes down to it. Height, reach, all of that. The one area that separates those two is that Deontay Wilder has been on the championship level. He's fought at the highest point. Also, the familiarity these fighters have with one another from sparring, I don't think they actually put in enough rounds for it to be something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I say something crazy, it's not like we haven't seen footage of Deontay Wilder and Robert Helenius out here before. We seen the footage, y'all. So for them to be sparring partners, okay, cool. What they learned in the sparring session is what it is, man. It is what it is. I don't think it's something that they put in so many rounds where one fighter know the other like the back of his hand is just going to be a wash. I think the fight fans are looking forward for Deontay Wilder to step back in the square. Real talk. Let me get to the chat. Andrew Charles on deck. What's good? King Mitch on deck with it. Mr. Pass on deck. Ghost on deck. What's good? He said Frank Sanchez versus Carlos Negron on October 15th, card 2. If Wild on that card, like rumored, that will make for an amazing card for him. I'm probably going to support the family. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And Frank Sanchez, man, he's coming up in the game as exciting heavyweight too. Not that big of a heavyweight, but he has movement. Gumbo salute. I'm just going through. Jason Williams, what's good with it? He said, peace, WCS. Peace to you, brother. Mr. Pass say, WCS, I heard some people say that they feel that Eddie Hearn is ruining Conor Benn's career by matching him up with Eubanks. Do you echo those thoughts or no? I'm gonna definitely get to Conor Benn after Deontay Wilder. So with Deontay Wilder, man, it's going down. You know what I'm saying? It's going down October 15th. And Wilder's 36 years old now, I believe. So we're talking about a guy who's 42-2-1, 41 knockouts. Robert Helenius, I believe, is sitting at 31 victories, and he has 3 defeats, 20 knockouts. Yeah, you can look at Wilder. I mean, he has double the wins. I mean, not double the wins. He has like 11 more wins than Robert Helenius, but the knockouts, he has double the knockouts. And like I said before, they have freaking they have history of being sparring partners. Robert Helenius is right up there with height to height with Deontay Wilder. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Of course, I'm going for the Bronze Bomber. I'm gonna stick with the Bronze Bomber regardless. I'm going for the Bronze Bomber. I really hope he goes in here and just, get the win, period. And we're able to see him much improved for whatever he worked on in the gym. I saw he was in Vegas, which is good. He's switching it up. He's out there getting back into it. If you've seen the video, the current reigning defending UFC heavyweight champ Francis Ngannou and Deontay Wilder, you know, they dapped each other up, and he pretty much said he's just trying to get back into it. So the good thing is, at least he's in there. He's in there. He's doing he's getting back conditioned and getting into fight shape. He's not as big as he was on the trilogy with Tyson Fury, but still, I'm going for the bronze bomber all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? Robert Helenius seemed like he's not a bad guy at all. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it's going to be a good fight. And let's see how Deontay Wilder look when he returns this October. Of course, on the horizon, we're looking forward to a possible fight. Like, not to look over Helenius, but if Deontay Wilder wins, right? And we don't know what the fight's going to look like with Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua, but we damn sure have had a credit that we have never been able to use for Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? That's a credit we haven't been able to cash in and go see. We want to see that Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua. Real talk. This fight is perfect timing. It has marinated the correct way. It's seasoned. If both fighters fought right now with no belts, it would be big. It would be big time. Seriously. If Alexander Usyk defeats Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder fights Joshua next, people still want to see that fight because it should have happened years ago. You feel me? It should have happened years ago. It should have happened years ago. And I guess it's a time and a place for everything, right? So we'll see how that plays out. We'll see how that plays out, y'all. So let's get on Conor Benn. All right, let's get back to what Mr. Pass was talking about, right? About Eddie Hearn. Whoever they may be, and saying that Eddie Hearn is ruining Conor Benn's career by matching him up with Chris Eubanks. I'm not sure what their intentions are, what message they're trying to send. Because this is my stance on the one and only Chris Eubanks. Conor Benn. You know what I'm saying? They have those lineage names. You know what I'm saying? How can anybody be fucking them up? They both in a spot right now where they trying to earn respect in the sport and in their divisions. Chris Eubanks, of course, his only 2 losses, of course, but still, when it comes down his resume, man, he's been hanging around. You know, he's been down there training with Roy Jones Jr. We seen him look very well in his last fight. And with Conor Benn, his name is one of those names in the welterweight divisions that's still waiting his opportunity. All right. So in the meantime, Conor Benn cannot do anything while Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence has the belts. So how's Eddie Hearn fucking up his career? He's going in there to fight a guy, and Chris Eubanks at a catchweight, 2 weight classes up. They have a history of, they have a history for a long time, just been contending in different divisions. How is he messing up anything? I think it's a damn good fight. I didn't feel that way initially, but I think it's a very good fight for Conor Benn. I do. Because it's not an entire a huge gap when it comes to disadvantages in this fight. Now, you may have some naysayers out here that's saying, oh, man, I disagree with that because he's in the welterweight division and, he should just focus. Nuh-uh. Look, I'm going to tell you what I tell a lot of people behind the scenes. You have some boxers who can rise to the top and they just have that lane that they're in. They have the connection. They're built to excel. They're in the right position, right promotion, right manager to be able to levitate in their career to higher places quickly. Conor Benn with the lineage, he really hasn't been able to do that shit. mean, you need more than Samuel Vargas knockout for people to start gravitating to you and say, "Oh my God, let's support Conor Benn." It's not going to work that way, people. You know that it's not going to work that way. Conor Benn moving up to face Chris Eubanks, I think is superb. Real talk. I think it's a good fight. People can't sit up here and dog him out for it just because they think Eubanks is going to be bigger than him. I mean, Eubanks, you know, when it comes down to him fighting at middleweight, he doesn't rehydrate too heavy. He's not a big dude. Conor Benn, I guarantee you, when he fight at welterweight, he probably comes in around the 150s anyway. He probably comes in around the 150s anyway. So, of course, with this fight, man, people are not going to see the benefit of it. But at this stage in the welterweight division, why not? You know what I'm saying? Conor Benn, I think he's ranked 5th in the WBC, right? 5th in the WBC, 4th in the WBA, 5th in the IBF, and I think he's like number 5 in the WBO, I think. And then with Chris Eubanks, I think he's 3rd in the WBC at middleweight. Number 1 at WBA, not ranked in the IBF, and then WBO, I think he's ranked number 1 too, if I'm not mistaken. So who has more to lose? Both of them have a lot to lose, but the weight is being carried over to the division that's closer to Chris Eubanks. You know what I'm saying? It's being carried forward over to Chris Eubanks. So if a lighter guy comes up and defeats Chris Eubanks, then guess what? It's gonna look bad on Eubanks. Real talk. It's gonna look bad on him. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely gonna look bad on him. It's not like they had title talks, you know, for Chris Eubanks at 160. I don't know what the fuck is going on at 160 except Gennady Golovkin facing Canelo Alvarez. When you talk about the WBC and the WBO, we don't even know what the hell going on. We got people with back injuries and pulling out and all that shit. We don't know. But when you ask WCS, I think it's a damn good fight for Eubanks, which has absolutely nothing to do with his division of 147. But when it comes to his career and adding a name like Chris Eubanks, it will look very good if he can move up 2 weight classes and get this W. Now, if Conor Benn moves up and gets this W, it's going to look great. But if he moves up and Eubanks gets the win, I don't think it's going to do anything for Chris Eubanks. You know why? Because who cares about Conor Benn at 160? Who cares about Conor Benn at 154? No one's looking for him right now at 147, except when his name pop up and say, "Hey, so-and-so's in the talk with Keith Thurman. Conor Benn's in the talk with so-and-so. Conor Benn want to fight this person. Conor Benn want to fight that person." His name is not like that. No one's really, buzzing about Conor Benn at 147. They know he's here, but he's still unproven. I can see if he was trying to rage war with Jaron Ennis or something. Him and Jaron Ennis have a slight spacing in between their rankings. You know what I'm saying? But we can say Jaron Ennis is a more popular fighter. So if Conor Benn was calling out Jaron Ennis, right, then that would be different. If those two was barking back and forth, hey, I want that spot. I think I'm just as good. You might be ranked high as I am, but I'm better than you. Let's make the fight happen. Forget everything else. Don't matter how many fights you have. Let's go. If they was raging war with one another at 47, then I would say this is a dumbass fight. But since Conor Benn absolutely has elevated music, he should move up and dance with Chris Eubanks. Now, I don't know if you heard, but there's some stipulations to this. For every pound, I believe, that they're overweight, it's $100,000. It's $100,000. Their contention weight is 157 pounds, bro. 157 pounds. If any one of them, now this is what's crazy. I'm not clear as to who basically advocated for that stipulation. It would seem like it would be a disadvantage for Eubanks more so than Conor Benn. Why? Because he's already contending at a higher weight. But for every pound over that catch weight of 157, they talking about $100,000, shawty. I don't agree with Eddie Hearns. I don't agree because right now, you know, you have to be built to take risk. Seriously, you have to be built to take risks. You know what I'm saying? We talk about Mikey Garcia all the time. Mikey Garcia felt that he's seen something, but Mikey Garcia was built to step up from 35 to 47. He was built for that. Not everybody's built to jump up like Canelo Alvarez was doing. Not everybody's built that way, bro. Not everybody is built that way. Regardless of who you saying they fight, you still have to go up and wait to make it happen. More of this should happen. You know what I'm saying? I always mention how Conor McGregor going from 145 to 170. You have to be built to jump up weight classes like that. You have to be cut from a different cloth, man. So we can't sit up here and cry about Conor Benn moving up and facing a fighter for which there's no championship medals involved. You know what I'm saying? It's really just bragging rights for Conor Benn. Chris Eubanks, really, the only thing is that their backyard. It's for bragging rights in their backyard when it comes to Eubanks. But for Conor Benn, is much more than that. It's much more than that. Because if he move up 2 weight class, obviously, you know, he balances out a heavier scale of notoriety for taking a risk. You feel me? You have to give him his salute for that shit. To have Eubanks Jr. on your resume as a welterweight, to move up, take a fight at middleweight, 2 weight classes up, a lot of people don't have the courage to do some shit like that. We have individuals complaining about Crawford, calling them out, and they 1 division higher. So of course I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it fair one. I'm gonna keep it a fair one with Conor Benn. I'm gonna keep it a fair one. I like what he's doing. I like him moving up and facing Eubanks. No, I'm not on his team. No, I'm not his trainer. You know what I'm saying? No, I have absolutely no play in the game with his career. But him stagnant at 147, he ain't about to fight Virgil Ortiz. Who is he gonna fight? Who is he gonna fight at welterweight? That's a must see. We don't know. So him moving up and taking this risk, man, jumping up 2 weight classes, man, kudos to him. Because you know what I'm saying? It's not really anything he has going on right now that's raising people's brows and goddamn making them, you know, say, oh shit, this going on. Okay, it's Conor Benn too. All right, cool. There's nothing going on at welterweight for him. And I know he feels some type of way that the only conversation is about Jaron Ennis, you know what I'm saying? Virgil Ortiz. And then, of course, the 2 premier names, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. That's the only conversation that we have in at welterweight. Real talk. Every now and then, Keith Thurman might blow in. And he might talk, and this, that, and the other, and then he go back into the shadows. But no one's talking about Conor Benn like that until this fight with Eubanks at a higher weight class. Now, do I believe he has what it takes? Like, I never seen Conor Benn fight outside of the television, outside of the network. I have seen Chris Eubanks in person spar. I was down at Roy Jones Jr. place. Shout out to Teen Williams Jr., man. Fun times always. You know, I was down there again, and I was able to see all Roy Jones fighter spar that day, but I had the opportunity to see Chris Eubanks for the first time spar. And I was very impressed with Eubanks, real talk. Like, if you ask me outside of that sparring session what I thought about him, or what I thought about him and how he acted as a person, and what I've seen at the casino and stuff, it mirrors up. All right. He's one of those guys. His personality isn't the best. You know what I'm saying? His personality ain't the best. But guess what? I'm a man, and I'm not looking to sit up here and try to change the way he act in life. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're going around here being an asshole to people. No, that's not it. It's just he sticks to himself. He has the same personality as his pops. So that's not something I'm trying to change. But the reality of it is, I really didn't have a connection with Chris Eubanks before I seen him spar. I seen him spar and I said, damn, this guy can box. I mean, he can box, man. Eubanks Jr. can box, man. For real. He can box. It's some shit you see in sparring that you may not see in the ring because of the way the opponent style is. I can't see Conor Benn beating Eubanks. I can't see Conor Benn defeating Chris Eubanks, bro. I can't see it. He's trained. Chris Eubanks is trained by the legend himself, Roy Jones Jr. right now. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see it. There ain't no way in hell anybody gonna convince me that Conor Benn is beating Eubanks Jr. But and also I can't see that Eubanks being in trouble by Conor Benn. I don't see it. Eddie Hearns may be looking at it like, well, you know, Eubanks is too much for Conor Benn. I don't know about that either. You know, Eubanks ain't just going in there, you know, stopping dudes. That's not the case. But as far as him being the better boxer, out of him and Conor Benn, yeah, I truly believe that. Does he have what it takes to break Conor Benn down? In my opinion, yeah. Yeah, I believe so. Real talk. I think he can break Conor Benn down, hand him his first loss, whether it's via decision or via stoppage. The shit I seen in sparring with Eubanks Jr., dude is very crafty, slick. You're never gonna know a lot about Eubanks Jr. Never. But don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Seriously, don't get it twisted, man. Just because you don't know too much about him, don't get it twisted that he can't box and he a bum. He this, man. You can say all that shit, but I seen the man spar in person. And I don't see Conor Benn having enough, not just experience, but from what I've witnessed with Conor Benn and his level of opposition, for him to step up 2 weight divisions and give a great account of himself with Eubanks Jr., hell no, shawty. I don't see that. I don't see that. That may be what Eddie Hearns is saying. Now, I disagree with him ruining. How can you ruin? I mean, how can you ruin his career? I'm just curious. How can you ruin Conor Benn's career? How can that happen? And the only reason I'm bringing that to your attention is that we can't sit up here and act like Eubanks defeating Conor Benn, he's not going to be able to get anything else accomplished at welterweight. That's just not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's not true. That's just not the case here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, when it boils down to Conor Benn at welterweight, no one's talking about him. But I guarantee you, when Eubanks and Conor Benn step into the square, it's going to be more people than you assume going to be watching this fight. Hey, it don't matter how they stream it. If motherfucker I stole it or I paid for it, they're going to watch the fight. And look, Conor Benn is 21-0. If he loses, he's 21-1 at a higher division, and it's not going to stop him from getting a fight at welterweight. Let's be serious. The same thing with Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia, you know, he chose to hang around. Look, he chose to hang out, dangling his feet in retirement, get a good, nice, soft, plush purse with Errol Spence fight. And then, you know, him enjoying the good life and everything, his sports car, he goes in there and gets beat by Sander Martin. Mikey Garcia was in retirement, dog. I mean, hey, that's not going to happen in Conor Benn, though. Because for one, he hasn't made the type of money to be comfortable as Mikey Garcia did when he moved up 2 weight divisions. He ain't made that type of money, y'all. He ain't make that type of money. It's just no. Like Stephen A. Smith. No. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I'm telling you, it's not gonna happen. Conor Benn will be all right. If he looks good in the loss, let's just say he goes the distance with Eubanks. He's gonna come back to 47, and his shit is gonna be transparent, y'all. Seriously, it's gonna be transparent. Ain't nobody gonna talk too much about it because they're not talking about him now. He's searching around. Conor Benn is that fighter that's searching around to see who he can fight, and if that fighter wants to fight him. He's searching for respect in the welterweight division, bro. Go say, personally, I appreciate what Deontay Wilder did. I never think much of the rematch or the third fight and give any respect to Tyson Fury. Before Deontay Wilder, he was a drug cheat. That erases all for me. I mean, and that's where we at with the controversy that goes. That's where we at the controversy. Because Tyson Fury, absolutely, from the Christian Hammer fight back in the day, the gavel. They racked the gavel. Track, guilty. Just so happened a loophole in boxing. This man, while he was tested dirty, was able to appeal and step into the square for the unified titles. It's a loophole, man. That's boxing. When you have a sport that's not regulated, what the fuck you think gonna happen? It's gonna be loopholes where individuals like Tyson Fury can go here and fight for the unified titles, win, and then bounce. And then say he was goddamn swimming in motherfucking flour for several years. I feel so good. Yeah, he's a drug cheat, man. But when he was going up against Deontay Wilder, no one was trying to talk about that. They tried to brush it under the closest rug that they seen. Let me sweep that up under there. Why are you trying to diminish the sport? That was so long ago. This is a new Fury. He came back to the sport. He had mental illness. You have to show sympathy for him. He was battling mental illness. Bro, he was still a drug cheat. Deontay Wilder fought clean in the sport at the highest level, the best competition in his division. You know what I'm saying? He fought Tyson Fury 3. 1, 2, 3. He fought him 3 times. 3 motherfucking times, man. He welcomed him back. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. After he came off the tomatoes, Sefa Safari and Francisco Pianetta, Deontay Wilder welcomed him into a freaking first fight, man. They had a press tour like no other. Come on, when do we get to see that shit again in the heavyweight division? They had a press tour, man. They was talking their shit, man. It was physical, man, all that shit. It came to a draw, which perfectly set up the rematch, man. He is a cheat, man. Jason Williams said, do you think Wilder continues his career if he looks and feels great in that fight? One thing I can't do, the only thing I can do is speculate, and I can base my opinion off of it, right? I knew he was coming back based off him and how he felt about his African roots and him going over there, you know, trying to determine what tribe his ancestry roots was embedded from, you know, who cultivated, where's his roots was cultivated, you know, as far as his ancestry. So when a man does that, we all know, and I can't speak about actually being in the tribe physically because I am a Black American, but for him to go and search these roots and run it back. I felt deep down inside that to his core, he wouldn't allow somebody like Tyson Fury to determine the closure to his professional career. That was his nemesis. He felt like Tyson Fury tried to kill him. You know what I'm saying? He felt like Tyson Fury tried to bury him alive. He felt that Tyson Fury had loaded gloves like many other people. You know, he felt Tyson Fury did damage to his facial structure, and his gloves was looking funny dunny. He felt like the man cheated again. He felt like he could have very well been in a wheelchair. He could have been like the Adonis Stevensons, the Gerald McLeans, the Pritchard Colognes. Or he even could have died like the Maxim Dedashevs, Patrick Days. You know what I'm saying? He could have been in the cemetery. So I can understand the level for which Deontay Wilder is feeling about being cheated with Tyson Fury, period. So that played heavy with me, saying he ain't done. He's coming back to the freaking sport. The man went over there and found out what tribe he's from. And within that travels, I'm pretty sure he had a coming to Africa moment where he was saying, you know what, I'm stronger than this. And you know, I can return from being stopped, taking a knockout. It happens in the sport. This is what I chose to do. I'm coming back. I have unfinished business. I always felt that way. I didn't give a fuck about what nobody else was talking about. Give a fuck about what they were saying he wasn't coming back. I knew he was coming back. The man has too much inside for him to just leave those 2 losses on his record and go off into the damn sunset in Alabama. Fuck no. Is Wilder's size causing concern? He did look pretty slim. To be honest with you, he did look slim, but I don't know, y'all. I don't know, because Wilder has been apart, or he has inflicted so much damage at the lighter weight as a heavyweight. He's always had a slender, sleek frame about him. What does that matter at the end of the day? He's going against Robert Helenius, who's going to outweigh him regardless. Robert Helenius is bigger than him anyway. Who hasn't been bigger than Deontay Wilder? You know what I'm saying? Once he started to move up, come on. It's not like he was coming in there in the 230s like he did against Tyson Fury. It wasn't like that was consistent. He carried that frame. Just ask Bermain Stavern, does he carry power with that frame? Just ask him. Ask Arthur Spilka. You know, ask the 41, which consists of everyone he stepped in the square with. Ask them, does Deontay Wilder hit hard in the frame that he was blessed with? So him being slender, you know, boxer, man, we seen that. We seen the destruction. You know what I'm saying? We seen all that. That's the bronze bomber, man. He's going to deliver his ammunition the best way he know how, bro. Real talk. Shout out to my guy Trick on deck. WCS, salute my brother in the chat. Salute to you, brother. Appreciate you pulling up. Big Bones Unboxing say you hit the nail on the head, WCS. Unfortunately, I didn't see you when you what topic I was talking about at the moment, but appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Mitch say Wilder about to knock someone the fuck out in his return. Yeah, I'm curious to see how that's going to play out with Robert Helenius. Real talk. I mean, like I said, former sparring partners. Robert Helenius has 2 wins over Andy Konoski. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how that works out, man, for Helenius. Let's see how that works out for him. It's just a lot of people, they have to have more respect for Deontay Wilder turning back to the square now. Because, you know, all the criticism he received when he had an O to the right side of his boxing ledger. Now he has 2 losses from the best heavyweight in the game. So what are we to say? You can't say he a bum. You can't say he ain't fight nobody. He did. He fought Tyson Fury 3 times. 3 motherfucking times. And then the trilogy Both fighters was down to the canvas several times. So you can't act like you didn't see it. You can't say you see blind. There's really nothing the naysayers can say about Deontay Wilder except judge him on his performance, the way he came in, how he looked, fatigued, how he didn't have enough gas in the tank to change levels on the back end of the fight. That's it. They can't talk about the same bullshit they was talking when it was Anthony Joshua. When they was talking about Anthony Joshua, the best heavyweight, he's this, that, and the other. He's selling out Wembley. No. We can't talk about that shit no more. That's over. Done. Conor Benn ain't shit. He across the pond, knew his hype job, in my opinion. What do you think Chris Eubanks is? He across the pond, knew his hype job, in my opinion. I'm not mad at Eubanks' fight at all, though. Great for the UK. What weight is the fight being held at? 157, bro. 157. The fight weight, the catch weight is being held at 157. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure they're going to weigh in at 156. All right. And like I said earlier, it's 100,000. It's 100,000 bands penalty for every pound that they're over the guarantee or the agreed weight limit. How far will they drain Eubanks down? How far will they make Benn go up in weight? Well, Eubanks contended middleweight anyway, so they're not draining him per se, even though the disadvantage is for him to get down below 157. So all he has to do is shed, from 60 to 56. You know what I'm saying? I doubt he's going to play it on the line and come in directly at 157. Eubanks is not a big dude, and he's always ripped, man. He's always in shape. So I don't think he's gonna have a problem with the weight. And goddamn it, if Conor Benn want to come up from 47 and pay out $100,000, he the dummy. He the dummy. Then I'm gonna say, okay, when you get back to 147, you should be at number 14. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Not ranked number 5 in the WBC and the IBF. You know what I'm saying? The number 4 in the WB and WBO. You should be ranked 14th, goddammit, because you came in overweight in a fight that could have put you above a lot of names in your division right now. Jaron Ennis. If he goes in there and put a Eubanks on his record, people are going to be like, Ennis ain't did that shit. Ortiz ain't did that. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm putting out there, bro. Eubanks ain't shit to me that he's a gym warrior. He's never really shown us what he would do when the lights are on yet. He should beat the smaller Benn, though. Man, Eubanks can box, man. Like I said, it's a lot that you see when you step in the gym. They criticize Crawford all the time for what they don't see, but yet they praise him for all the tools. You know what I'm saying? His boxing cachet being plentiful, but then they criticizing him for not going in there and using all of those arsenal, the entire arsenal that he has, which is crazy because, like I say, that's very, very smart IQ. If you don't have to go in there and fight on that level and continue to win, and you don't use your entire arsenal, come on, man, stop the madness, bro. Depends if they suck Eubanks down to 152 or something. No, the weight is at 157. There's no way Eubanks would agree. Look, what the fuck Eubanks is going to agree to a weight with Conor Benn close to Conor Benn's weight? I mean, come on. That's basically saying everything whoever he fought, Conor Benn ain't fought who Eubanks has fought. Regardless of credibility we give to his resume, Conor Benn ain't did it. So for Eubanks to drop down close to 47, hell no, that's dumb. That's dumb, shawty. That's dumb. People be laughing at Eubanks and pointing, dog. You dumbass. You a clown. You know how it goes, man. The fuck? You giving this welterweight privilege by coming down to his weight for what? If you're gonna come down here, you might well fight welterweight. God damn it! I met Eubanks at Mayweather's gym in Vegas. Took a picture with him. I agree. He comes off as smug and is a man of few words. Yes, sir. I think I like that word smug. That's short to the point. Eubanks was smug when he told somebody to tell me to cut the camera off and I couldn't record or take any pictures. I was like, what? What? I drove all the way down here. I mean, but it is what it is, man. I was able to, get some pictures of his other fighters that was in there. But I swear to you, man, if I would have been able to get some pictures of Eubanks sparring that day, oh my God, man. I mean, what he was doing to some of those sparring partners, oh my goodness. I mean, like Trick said, man, the dude is smug, man. He's a smug fella. He's very smug. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sir Senior on deck. Debbie says, you've seen some shit people would kill to see. I got to take your word for it. Them sparring wars tell a story. Yes, sir, man. That's what it is. That's what it is, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. People talk about numbers all the time, but goddamn, talk about numbers of sparring sessions. Talk about the amateurs that you covered. Talk about all that. Chris Eubanks, to me, when I seen him spar, I didn't have a connection with him before that. I didn't. But when I seen him spar down at the legend, the Hall of Famer Roy Jones Jr. Gym on his property, it changed my mind. I said, damn, this dude is talented. I don't see that shit when he's in the ring. I mean, very, very smooth. Eubanks have a smooth type boxing style. But unfortunately, he doesn't fight a level opposition for which he can shine. Like they're gonna bring the best out of Eubanks Jr. I mean, the only time I can say that he fought the top level is, his losses, of course. But I still, at that point in time, I don't think he was his best. He didn't shine. He didn't give us his best. Eubanks Jr. We didn't see his best. Maybe he needs some more training. Maybe he needs some more confidence. I don't know. But his last fight, he looked good, man. He looked good. Benn won't be able to bully Eubanks like he does those washed up welterweights. True. That's true. He's been handpicking from the toilet bowl and semi-retirement home. I totally agree. He absolutely been hand selecting, man. Whoever's been doing it, I don't know where they've been coming up with these names, but like I said, his opposition have not been shining in the light for us to pay attention to Eubanks Jr. at 60. Like, that's just a bad division altogether. We're talking about an empty shoebox, right? And they got them classic MJs, the ones that might cost you about a grand or more. You say, damn, I can't believe this box out this motherfucker like this. You open it up, ain't shit in there but paper. That's the middleweight division. You know what I'm saying? The names are up there. You know what I'm saying? You got the Gennady Golovkin, Jamal Charlo, Demetrius Andrade. You got some names up there that mean something. I guess that was a poor analogy because none of them compare to Jordan Collection. You know what I'm saying? That was a poor analogy. But y'all get the point. I'm just saying, like, what's going on over there at 160? The Eubanks. I mean, why not him fight? Does he not think he's ready for Jamal Charlo, or Jamal Charlo don't want to fight? I don't know. Jamal trying to figure out he want to move up to 60. We don't know what Eubanks. His name never popped into the conversation about Jamal Charlo. Definitely he didn't pop in the conversation of Triple G. I didn't hear his name pop in against Yoda Murata when he was champion. It'll be a tough fight for him to face Andrade. Real talk. And I agree with that, Mitch. He ain't going to be able to bully Eubanks. You know what I'm saying? Conor Benn is not going to be able to bully Eubanks. Eubanks obviously is going to be the bigger fighter. But like we've seen over decades, you can be the bigger fighter, but that doesn't mean you're going to get the victory. I.e., Rolly Romero, Tank Davis. I really don't like bringing that up, but It's actual fact. Rolly Romero looked like a motherfucking super welterweight in there. And 6 is not his number. Even though he said he was winning all 6 rounds. No, that's not the case. That's not the case. What's going on, Larry? Salute to you. I don't know what Larry talking about. Somebody help Larry get on topic. I don't know what you're talking about. Alexander on deck. What's good? Be more specific, Larry. Stay on topic too. Shout out to my guy Ohio Run Boxing with the 199 super chat. Salute to you, my brother. Appreciate you pulling up as always. Captain Chaos say Wilder single-handedly brought the heavyweight division back. He gave Fury life. He did, man. Didn't he? Look, he resuscitated Fury's career, man. We can absolutely agree that Tyson Fury defeated. When Klitschko stepped back in there with Anthony Joshua, he hadn't fought since he fought Fury. That's why I always dog the shit out of that narrative that, oh, he has a Klitschko on his record. Who gives a damn? He was coming off a loss, and even though that loss, oh my God, bro, that loss he had to Tyson Fury, man, that is not a memorable fight, especially when he was pending repercussions from a positive drug test. Plus, the activity in that fight was very banal. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was banal from post to post, round to round. So when you look at it, Deontay Wilder gave this man the opportunity off the Sefer Safari and Francisco Pianeta, 2 fighters we didn't know existed. And he said, hey, Tyson Fury, I'm willing to welcome you back and everything. And let's do this, man. I'm the WBC king right now. And they fought. And we found out Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder just blossomed into a rivalry. You know what I'm saying? And we can attest. I'm not influencing none of y'all in the chat. But when I say we, I'm talking about those who agree with me that Tyson Fury got knocked the fuck out in the first fight. Period. I just really wish Deontay Wilder could have been credited that on his box rec, and Jack Reese did not sit down there and try to call to the gods. To the boxing god. Please raise Tyson Fury out this knockout, this coma that he's in. 8, simmy. 9, simmy. Oh, his eyes is open. There he goes. Come on, Tyson. Come on, Tyson. You can do it, Tyson. 9, 6, 1000s. Get up. If you have to lean on me, do it. Lean on me. Go to the right. Go to the left. You're good. Go in there and finish the fight strong. You can do it. If Jack Reese wouldn't have provided Tyson Fury with a second life when he was all the way in the upper room, and Jack Reese seemed like he already had people up there to welcome Tyson Fury and to basically give him an IV or some type of minerals, some type of additive to bring him back to life so he can return back to reality and close out the round strong. You know what I'm saying? That round just happened to be the 12th. God damn it. When you know that shit. Damn. Deontay Wilder was robbed of a knockdown. I just don't want to get into it, man. Anyway, FR2, what's good? 158 is the weight. That's not what I read, man. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I read. And I'm definitely not going to go back and forth with somebody about what I read on different articles. But I read 157. I can screen share it if you want, but I'm just saying I read 157. I'm pretty sure it's going to be different for each segue. Let's just say you're right. You know what I'm saying? Let me share screen. I'm going to show you. Let me share screen right quick. Because, FR2, I'm not saying you're wrong, but This is at no fake news, man. I got a screen share where my source was. You feel me? So I have no problem. I have no problem showing you where my source is at. You feel me? So hold up for a second. Let me get this down from here. Okay, let me go back. So this is my screen share right here. Once again, I was talking about Dan Raphael. This is Boxing News 24. It said, according to Dan Raphael, there would be $100,000 per pound fine for either fighter if they come in over the 157-pound limit for the 12-round middleweight contest. You feel me? And I'm pretty sure there's some different numbers out there, but I find this article to be seriously credible. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's 157, 158, it's close enough, goddammit. It's close enough, goddammit. You feel me? So that's where I got my source from, man. You know, I just had to put that out there. And, you know, shout out to FR2. I mean, like I said, I have no problem. Damn, if I have a source in front of me, that's where it's at, man. Toby, what's good? Salute. Triple G, Andrade, Charlo will all watch Eubanks, in my opinion. It's possibly. You might be right. You might be right. But we'll never know. Because his name has not popped up in the conversation to fight either one of them you just mentioned. Neither one of them. His name hasn't popped up. And they come in here talking about old stuff, man. We're talking boxing today, bro. We're talking boxing. Don't you ever forget who brought you the big time boxing? You were strung off cocaine, big ass house, and contemplating offering yourself Wilder the Fury. God damn. No, he didn't. Miss just put the quote of all quotes in the chat. God damn, that was brutal. But it's true. It's true. It's really, really true, bro. It's really true. But that's what we at with Benn and Eubanks, man. I'm going to tune in for that fight, man. And also, I wanted to highlight Michael Benson, too. It said Chris Eubanks Jr., because this is at No Fake News outlet. Chris Eubanks Jr. versus Conor Benn was reportedly finalized at a catch weight of 147 pounds, okay? I usually source 2 to 3, but let me share this just so we can be sure, because, you know, of course, people are going to run with it, and they're going to try to say, well, WCS is putting out fake news. There we go, people. There we go. Check out the tweet. Michael Benson. There you go, right there. He's citing Dan Raphael, which I consider a credible source to a point. You know what I'm saying? You got to, regardless of what I said about his shit about Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, I'm just talking about this right here. This is a little bit more believable because this fight is signed. It's not penciled. It's signed. It's not nearing. It's signed. Chris Eubanks Jr. versus Conor Benn was reportedly finalized at a catch weight of 157 FR2. It claimed that if one of the fighters comes in overweight, then there will be a fine of $100,000 per pound. You feel me? You feel me? Let's get to the one and only Adrian, the problem, Broner. Asian problem Broner is back in the building. Shout out to Cincinnati. Shout out to Team Broner. Listen, this is what I have to say about that. Shout out to Michael Stafford. I have to look, I have to remind people on how smart Adrian Broner is. Now, Let's not act like boxers haven't been in situations where they then look their best outside the ropes. All right. It's been many cases of boxers not looking their best. But when it comes down to the way Adrian Broner goes in there, post Marcus Madonna fight, and he haven't really provided his fight fans with the punch output they would like. Still, he hasn't been stopped in boxing. He is a future Hall of Famer. Once again, I repeat, Adrian Broner is a future Hall of Famer. Adrian Broner is a 4-weight champion. Guarantee you that. When Adrian Broner was moving up, he skipped over 140 and went to 147, picked up a title, came back to 140. It is fact. It is fact. He is a future Hall of Famer. Now, this point in his career, I know Mitch be like, God damn it, fuck that. Tell the truth. He didn't look good against Santiago, man. Tell the truth, WCS. Don't sugarcoat it. I just felt like he could have did more, just like they always say. He could have been a lot more active as always. But who am I to get on here and repeat the same stuff that's just floating on the surface on the YouTube? You know what I'm saying? On this YTC community. I mean, we already heard that. We already know he has limited output. But let's not forget how smart Adrian Broner is. Let's not forget how smart Adrian Broner is when he was in an interview with Mark Kriegel. And people think he's just ghetto fabulous. No, dude is smart. Let's remember this shit right here. Remember this. Let me go back.
I don't know how you feel. And it's really about 4 different weight classes Saturday night.
4 times is nothing. It's really about succeeding Floyd as the #1 attraction in the sport, is it not?
I don't know how you feel, but have you ever won one? Okay, so you can't say 4 times is nothing. See, you got guys like you. You got guys like people out there that are computer gangsters, that are, you beat up boxers with your mouth because you know how to talk. But at the end of the day, until you really get inside that ring, you can't say 4 times is nothing. So,
Genius, smart. The delivery was smooth as it can possibly get. It wasn't no yelling, screaming, cussing, all this shit. You would get my people that always criticize Adrian Broner for him not throwing enough punches in the ring. And then that carry outside the ring and think the man just, yeah, he has his moments outside the ring. He's in the spotlight, but you can't say he didn't handle that delivery with perfection, with absolutely perfection, y'all.
to me, 4 times is everything. Because tomorrow is never promised. So don't ever tell me, and I hope you don't ever tell another boxer that one of their accomplishments is nothing.
Damn. Damn, dog. Did y'all just hear it? Man, come on already, bro. That's one of the best retorts ever in such a critical moment where somebody's attempting to wash away your achievements and say, oh, 4 divisions is really nothing. Man, come on, man. We're talking about AB, dog. AB just dropped the scholar response to Mark Kriegel. Scholar. Bravo. We're talking about a dude that'll tell you straight up. Every time I seen Adrian Broner, he's himself, man. That's who he is, bro. I got to hear that again. I got to.
That I am going to be the 4-time world champion at 4 different weight classes Saturday night.
4 times is nothing. It's really about succeeding Floyd as the #1 attraction in the sport, is it not?
I don't know how you feel, but have you ever won one? Okay, so you can't say 4 times is nothing. See, you got guys like you. You got guys like people out there that are computer gangsters, that are, you beat up boxers with your mouth because you know how to talk. But at the end of the day, until you really get inside that ring, you can't say 4 times is nothing. So to me, 4 times is everything, because tomorrow is never promised. So don't ever tell me, and I hope you don't ever tell another boxer that one of their accomplishments is nothing.
That's all I can say on that. Superb. I don't care how y'all feel about Adrian Broner. Say what you want. Tell him to his face. But one thing I can say about Adrian Broner, whether you like him or not, he always the same person when you see him. I've seen Adrian Broner with no titles, no fight on the horizon, and he still had people. AB, can I get a pic, AB? AB, what you got? Can I get an interview, AB? Hey, he knows where the hate is coming from. He knows what people think about him. And he knows heading into this fight with Omar Figueroa, people are pretty much counting him to pretty much do the same. You know what I'm saying? They are saying like, well, is AB really gonna jump outside of the trash talking and the predictions and give us something and seal the deal with this Omar Figueroa fighter? I mean, both of them are coming off performances that people are not really standing up, and cheering them back to the ring. You know what I'm saying? They're not really sitting there waving them in and say, oh, come on, man, we just couldn't wait. We just couldn't wait, especially Omar Figueroa. Both of them had their situations where they had to deal with personally. Okay. Omar Figueroa has spoken about his mental health and all that. And Adrian Broner, he continues to show people that he is in fight camp. He did have a birthday while in this fight camp. And from my understanding, he was in the gym. They say usually on AB's birthday, he's out. He has several people. Now, of course, AB has been online. He said many things, about the people who was around him when he was doing well and how those people pretty much abandoned him. It happens all the time. When the money's flowing in, the parties, the free access, yeah, your friends are going to be there. No doubt about it. Does AB have to do a lot more in this fight to change people? Yeah. AB is that counter striker, man. AB, when he's on, he looks pretty. You know what I'm saying? He gives us that AB that's very surgical, and he's a showman. I hope he's able to recover to the point where he can get a big fight and earn back that millions. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get into who owes him money, who may owe him money, or anything like that, or how much money he may have. But what I do want to see from Adrian Broner is him stepping back in the square with Omar Figueroa and look impressive doing it. That's all I want. I've been hearing at 156 from a lot of channels, but Solon wouldn't be pushed on it by Kugan Cassius of IFL. He said all will be revealed at the presser. Hey, man, they want to come up with a different number. Like I said, I sourced where I got the information from. Like I said, man, we want to talk about 3 pounds, 2 pounds, whatever the case may be, man. They're going to step in the fight at a catch weight. You know what I'm saying? They're going to fight at a catch weight. I screen shared my shit. I didn't say a source told me. I screen shared where I got it from. I can't do no more than that. If they come up with different numbers at the presser and it's close to the 47, I'm dumbfounded as to why Eubanks would place himself in a position. I would definitely have a youngin come up to my weight class where I'm comfortable at, and I'm going to be the bigger fighter on fight night. Absolutely. We have to pay close attention to the judges of AB versus Figueroa, not for cheating or some scandal, but because of preference and fighting style. Omar will have more activity. AB will have sharp counters. I mean, you hitting some very, very sharp points right there. I don't care about the judges. I really don't. AB is going to have to go in there and prove that he's better than Figueroa. Figueroa is not a champion. Figueroa is not holding any type of title. You know what I'm saying? Figueroa is coming off a loss himself. I mean, AB has to go in there and shows he's on a different level than Omar Figueroa at this point in his career. You know, let's do a little gander. Let's take a gander right quick. Let's take a gander. Right? Let's just take a gander right quick, man. Let's skip around for a second. Let's share. You know what I'm saying? Let's share this screen right quick. All right. This is Omar Figueroa's freaking box rec. All right. This is Omar Figueroa's box rec. Let me put it on. If you look, this is Omar Figueroa, 28-2-1, 19 knockouts. All right. His last fight was 2021. May of 2021, man. Obviously, it's been over a year. Well, we can say the same thing if we look at Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner last fight was Giovanni Santiago, February 2021. You feel me? So, of course, it was a 6-round. You know, he didn't make it out. You know, against Abel Ramos, who was 26-4-2 at the time. Then before that, he lost to UD to Yardenas Ugas, who, you know, the same one who we know, went in and had a pretty decent showing against Sean Porter, got the shot against Manny Pacquiao, sufficed, and then lost to Errol Spence. So, you know, he lost to a tough opponent in Ugas, and he went the distance with him, but he was stopped against Abel Ramos. So it's not like he's coming off some crazy run, but I guess this is for the WBC super light title, man. This fight is going to be contended at 140, bro. Here go Adrian Broner. You know what I'm saying? Adrian the Problem Broner out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Last fought February 2021. Giovanni Santiago, which people felt that the fight, it wasn't the best at all. You know what I'm saying? He could have did more, but both of these fighters have been out over a year. Easy. Easy. You know? So that's where we at with it. That's where we at with AB. A good point right there, King Mitch. AB's criticism is warranted, but he talks his shit in the best of them. Yeah. You know, his criticism, man, you know, he can do better, but like we said, man, it hasn't come a time where AB has to reinvent himself. He has to come back. He has to be that transformer like Troy Isley. You know what I'm saying? He has to come back and show us he's a different type of fighter. He has to give us something different. He has to give us a different look, as they say it in boxing. We need a different look from AB. That's all. I'm just curious if AB is going to be able to make 140. But I'm rooting for you, AB, to make that weight. I'm rooting for you to go in there and show out and talk your shit post-fight. And then hopefully you get a big fight, man, where you can make some good money, put you in a comfortable position to live your life. I think maybe he's mature. You know, you get older, you mature a lot more than you did when you was younger. I mean, he's not the only fighter to be a party animal, be out in the nightlife. We know that. He's not the only one now. Remember, AB was the sober one when Errol Spence was out there intoxicated and Gervonta Davis and then was all on camera. AB was sober. Remember that now. When Errol Spence said he started boxing in 2015. Come on now. I'll tell my recall memory, man. Come on, bro. Don't let me start spinning the Rolodex, dog. People can say what they want. AB is a star, especially in the sport of boxing. He is, man. He's definitely a future Hall of Famer, like I said. If you look at his videos, man, as far as his progress for this fight camp, he's losing weight. I don't know where he's at right now. I don't know what his starting point was. I don't know where his current is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what their target is. But they're going to have to make that 140. They're going to have to make that 140. See, we don't know what his starting weight was. We don't know, bro. We don't know what his starting weight. We don't know. But we will see. We will see. But you know, big shout out to AB, man. I really want to see you get back in and get this victory against Omar Figueroa. However you have to do it, get back on the winning streak, you know, to the point where you can get a big fight. You know what I'm saying? When I say winning streak, I'm talking about more than one fight, and not against Giovanni Santiago. I'm talking about winning streak, where people could say, "Oh man, he's done put together three fight winning streak." You know what I'm saying? That's what we talking about. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see him going in there with no big ass fighter like Jake Paul and none of that bullshit. We don't want to see none of that. No KSI, none of that. We don't want to see none of that, bro. But definitely best wishes to him getting back in the groove of things. His health. Hopefully stay healthy during this training camp. Don't get injured. Because if you're on a long layoff like that, sometimes your body don't hold up, man. You got to get back in it. You know what I'm saying? Shit don't click. When the older you get, shit don't click the right way. You know what I'm saying? And if you hear clicking, you say, "Oh shit. Damn, that didn't used to be that way." But man, hey, appreciate y'all pulling up. Real talk. I'm not gonna stay on here. I've been on an hour and a half already, man. Continue to support the channel as I always tell y'all, man. Y'all know what it is at No Fake News. You know what I'm saying? Continue to support WCS. You know, check out worldcombatsports.com. The website is out there. It's been out there, really. Check out my IG. Check out YouTube. Check out the body of work. Continue to follow me, man. You know, support your brother. Turn up and tune in to World Combat